Hello, Captain VFC here with an inbox review of not one, but two Hawker Tempests from Kovozávody Prostějov. Right, now that I've attempted that name in full once, I'm going to do the British thing and shorten them to KP for the rest of the video, so as not to have to edit out 800 attempts at their name failing, and also to not offend any Eastern Europeans and embarrass myself any further. So, thank you. Right, now, for historical reasons that are actually quite simple, but I won't go into here, the Hawker Tempest Mark V actually entered service before the Hawker Tempest Mark II. So I will be opening the box of the Mark V first, and then we'll look at the Mark II and make the obvious comparison between the toolings. Firstly, this is a very nice box art. There's a lot of these Czech companies that use the same guy, Carlos Alonso, and it's just nice. Look at that. It's just beautifully done. Round at the top, on the right it says new tool model. Now personally, I would like it to say what year, because it may be a new tool when I buy it, or I may buy it in 10 years time. Not a big issue. Maybe they don't intend to make many more runs of this and it will only just be available for a little while around now. I can confirm, however, this is a 2021 tool. The F2 is 2022, I believe, because of when the new parts came out. On the ends, for the flappy box, yellow on one side, red on the other. It says it's a skill level 3, which is interesting. I think I've only ever seen one skill level 1 from KP. Even their Spitfire is a skill level 2. We've got an interesting warning here. Note that says manufacture of this product was not funded by EU or any other public subsidies. I don't know who needed to know that, but they've put it on there, so if you did, now you know. And on this side, we just got their address. It's recyclable and website, and one of the options that you can make, which is all indicated on the back on the call out. This one, Wing Commanders, is the particular version I've got. I did see the product code and I just glossed over it. KPM 0219. Oh, there's a big stamp on it somewhere, isn't there? There's normally a big stamp that says 219. There it is. 219. I got this one because it was actually a reduced price. So this is the second new Tempest to be released in recent times. This is the other one, the Airfix one from 2022, also a Mark V, which I've built on twitch.tv, link below. That's below, link below. Follow me if you want to see me build kits. This did not stop me from buying the KP one, however, I think it has stopped some people because the Mark V version has been sold off in quite large numbers at a reduced price. So I got this for about £9. I think they're normally something like £13 or £14. The original plan was to get the F2 with a completely different front end from KP, and then the Mark V from Airfix to do the best of both. But it's a pretty plain. Why not just make another Mark V, right? Anyway, enough babbling. Let's crack her open, shall we? We're going to go yellow side. So inside, we have standard KP deal of a bag with a sticky thing. What do you call a sticky thing bag? It's a sticky thing bag. That is what I'm calling it. Your decal's in there, your instructions in there, and your plastic. So let's oh, that's satisfying, isn't it? Rip that open. Oh no, it's stuck to my decals. Don't you dare damage them. Ooh, there we go. I was normally trying to avoid that, but I am a fool. Well, since they fell out first, let's look at the decal sheet. They look fine, don't they? Yeah, they look alright. Doesn't have any branding on it. I don't recall seeing anything on the box as to who makes them, but they seem pretty thin. The register is perfect. They look good. Look very good. We'll see. There's a clear sprue in a separate bag as well, which is just the canopy, which it looks like you can have open or closed because it's got the front and the body separately. onto the instructions. I know we've kind of done it in a weird way, but I don't care. It's what came out of the box. We have a bit of history in 2 languages, which you can just Google if you want. Right, instructions are 2 A4 sheets, not stapled together. I don't really care about that, to be honest. Sometimes I like making it with just a sheet that's relevant. You have a sprue map at the top. Very, very nice. Like to see that. It does help. And quite a lot of steps. Like I say, they've done this over 2 pages. I feel some companies would have tried to cram this onto 1, but no, it breaks it down very, very nicely with colour guides. It says interior green. It doesn't give you a number. I believe it does on the box. Yeah, it gives you Humbrol numbers on the box, but it doesn't tell you that here. It says interior green, so I guess as this is targeted at more experienced modelers, you'll have your own interior green that you like. Black, well, you probably just use black. Which is fine. You've got cockpit, you've got the chin intake being assembled there, fuselage together. Quite simple at this point. The fuselage goes into, the cockpit goes into the fuselage, whereas on the Airfix one it actually goes onto the top of the wing, so that's interesting. I wonder how they're going to do the in fact, you can already see completely different system for the chin intake. Engine on fuselage. Note that we have a separate nose section and fuselage section, so I think we're likely to find when we open the F2 that it's the same, but there's an extra bit for an extra nose. But we'll look at the plastic in a sec. Wings, you've got a wheel well sort of frame, if you like, to stick down on top of the bottom wing. Different versions of cannon, because KP tend to use generic instructions, so this is for any Tempest Mark V rather than the Wing Commander's one or the specific options. That is fine, just look at the back of the box. These are slightly more skill, need slightly more skill than an Airfix or Rebel Kit or something like that. Exhaust, tail, looks like we've got grooves, so they have actually put locating positions on them. Often they don't. Yeah, nothing on the fuselage from the instructions, but that's fine. That's okay, that's cool, we can deal with that. You bump on the underneath of the wing, your legs, stick your legs on, boom, job's a good one. Should look like that if you're putting it with the wheels down. And yes, I was right at the end, you can see there. So again, just extra couple of bits. This is what I mean when I say they've spaced out quite well. Other companies would probably have put the drop tanks, if you're adding them, on the same picture there, or would have just done everything, just one big exploded picture. But nope, they've taken the time, paid an extra, half a penny or whatever for an extra sheet of paper. So good job, KP. Impressed with the instructions so far. And then just cockpit, and at the back there's just a line drawing, and there's nothing for that. It's not placement of stenciling or anything. It is just, you can't really see that, sorry, it's just a line drawing of a Hawker Tempest Mark V. Isn't that nice? Maybe they didn't need the extra page. So onto the plastic. So first thing I note, look, there they are, there's the engine. However, we've got 2 grey plastic sprues and only one engine, only the Mark V engine, which would suggest there will be another either complete wing sprue or, more likely, just an extra add-on for the Mark II. No locating pins on the fuselage as per the instructions. That's fine. It's quite basic, the detail. They've put grooves in. Fidelity is not fantastic. The panel lines, however, well, that's clearly where they've spent their money. Look at that. That is nice. That is very, very nice. That's a very good job. It looks good. It really does. They've been quite careful with where they've put the mounts onto the sprues. They've not put them on any ridiculously fiddly parts. So that's good to see. Only one spinner. The Airfix one came with 2. I wonder if KP know that there were different spinners. There's the wheels. That one's slightly falling off, but we won't worry about things like that. Got wheel well detail in there. There's the frame that goes around. There's the landing lights. You've got the ejection ports for the guns. Yeah, that is nice. I note that the fuselage goes there and you've got a whopping great gap on that side. I didn't see what that was for in the instructions, but that's interesting. No clever fancy way of tucking and folding the wing underneath like the Airfix one, but that looks good. Yes, looking forward to that. So that is the F5. And now, the F2. Naturally, the box is going to be exactly the same, save for the call-outs and things, and it's the specific information. So this one is 228, so KPM 0228. Again, it just says new tool model. Like I said, I think this one's 2012, but it was obviously part of the same system as the other one. Skill level is still 3, still not funded by the EU. It doesn't contain glue. 3 silver versions, which is not a surprise. I keep doing that. It's not a surprise given that I went for the silver wings version, because I like a silver Tempest. Look at that. Oh, it's nice. Yes. Yes. These ones are all post-war options, hence the silver and the fact that it's an F2, which entered service very, very, very late in the war. So we just have 3 versions of silver Tempest. So, opening the yellow side. Guess what we have? It's the same style of bag. Who would have thunk it? And there's the decals. This time we're going to be a bit more conscious about opening them. Have you seen how much bigger the decal sheet is on this? Oh, I can't... Oh, it's down there. I can't actually find the opening bit. So let's just get the decals out now so I don't accidentally stick things to them. Note the size difference in sheets. There's the F5, there's the F2. Well, Mark 5 F2, because F was the post-war designation instead of just saying Mark. Anyway, this time it's got the KP brand on it. It didn't have that on the other one. That's interesting, that little KP brand down there. Maybe they printed them themselves. Again, they look fine. The register is good. They've got the distinction between the paler blue and the darker blue, representing the different time periods. The blue does seem to match the registration as well. You'd be surprised how many kits I've seen that don't. I don't know what that grill is. I don't like the look of that, having some sort of grill in decal form, but we'll see. Right, let's get rid of that. And once again, the instructions, I will very quickly gloss over these because I have a feeling it will be mostly the same except for the engine. But it confirms, yes, we have 3 sprues of plastic. One has, that's clearly the wing one from before. Yeah, these 2 are the ones from before. No, these 2 must be the ones from before. This must be a new one. And it says to not use the propeller blades. It's crossed out, propeller blades, engine. Presumably that's a spinner or something. So yes, they've added an extra sprue, which actually makes it, I think, a little bit better that this one's actually more. I spent more money on it. I feel like I'm getting more. Yeah, construction is exactly the same, except you have a whopping great radial engine instead, and that explains where the decal goes. You put the grille as an engine, presumably exhaust or something like that. Probably not an exhaust. I don't know what it is. Either way, that's a cheap solution. I prefer etched. And then it's in a slightly different order, but the principle is basically the same. Yeah, there's the wheels. Same number of bits of paper. More or less exactly the same, except with a whopping great radial engine. And another line drawing. Look at that. Line drawing of a Hawker Tempest F2. Could always colour it in. If you've got kids, give it to them to colour in. There you go. That's a suggestion. They didn't put that on there. That's just from me. So here we have, as per the sprue guide, 3 sprues of plastic. This one is exactly the same as this one. You've got exactly the same engine. There's the Mark 5 engine there. The wing, equally as beautifully crisp, which is good. Nice to see some consistency. I have had kits in the past, not naming the Airfix Tiger Moth in 70 seconds name, where I bought, I think, 3 or 4 in one go, and 2 of them had awful flash, and the other 2 were absolutely fine. So yeah, that is exactly the same sprue as this one, and this sprue is exactly the same as the other one, and features the fuselage, sans engine, cockpit floor, and everything that you would expect. Oh, there's the chin intake. Didn't see that in the other one, but there it is, looking rather nice. And then this is what you pay for. So you actually get basically an extra 50% of plastic for the same price. So, yeah, my recommendation, buy the F2. And you can buy the F2 and just stick a Mark V's nose on it if you really wanted to. Then you can make both Airfix ones by spending more than just buying 2 Airfix kits. Okay, don't do that. Anyway, so this is the other one. We've got the rockets. I don't know if I don't think this one actually suggests putting rockets on. I don't know if they would have done, but I'll have to look that up. An extra bit for the wing. That will be why there was a gap. That gap there, because you have a slightly different intake system or radiator system. I get it. This makes sense now. You've got some bombs. Quite nice bombs as well, actually. So even if you don't use them, you've got some nice standard British bombs to use. Very, very nice. There is the engine. Yeah, I've seen better. I've seen worse. It's not bad. Yeah, I mean, it's the engine. It goes inside anyway. It has a whopping great propeller blade on it. Also, there's a drinking game every time I say whopping great when talking about a Tempest. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, again, very nicely done. There's the exhausts there. They look good. Yeah, so this is mostly just weapons. Why does the F5... I keep changing my designations now. Why does the Mark V not have rockets? Maybe because there are lots of versions. In fact, I've got my mouse here. There are lots of versions of this kit available. So they have done 4 to date, which is end of October 2022. 4 versions with the Mark V. 3 Mark 6s, and then some Mark 2s. Oh no, there's even more than that. Okay, let's scratch that. So why does the Mark V not come with the rockets? Maybe that is a separate tool. Also, oh no, this is the Mark 6 engine. So you've actually got 3 nose sections. Yeah, you've got the Mark V is here as part of the base kit of just 2 sprues. This is the Mark 6 and this is the Mark 2. Very cleverly done. They clearly knew exactly what they were planning on doing with this tooling. They made a base tooling to suit everything, and then they've done a 3rd sprue which covers any other options if you want the Mark 2, the Mark 6, ones with weapons. So any release that they do, I reckon, with weapons will have this extra sprue, whether it's a 5, 2 or 6. Fantastic. Looking forward to this. I don't know which one I'll be making first. There will obviously be comparisons with the Airfix one because the Airfix one is beautiful and is still fresh in my mind. But that's a look inside the boxes. Put the plastic back. Oh, look at that. Oh, I didn't even see the clear... Oh, bloody professional here. Didn't even see the canopy. There we go. That's in its own little bag. I'm not even going to take it out of the bag. It looks fine. It's a little thick, maybe, but there we go. But that is a little look inside the KP, Tempest, F2 and Mark V.